Hello, Lowco sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Lowco Pigskin Live Playoff Edition.
Oh
Playoffs.
yeah.
Wes not with us at the moment, as you can see. Justin Jarrett joined by Marcus Walsh, WHHI TV, moonlighting for Lowco Sports tonight. Wes not with us at the moment. He's en route home from that Bluffton game because it was just as wild as we thought it might be. Our paltry over under of 110.5 was blown out of the water. 88-48 Richland Northeast over Bluffton. It was a crazy one. We'll get into the kind of the back and forth of it a little bit when we get into it. But we're all done in 4A. We have 6 teams left if you're counting. We had 14 to start the night. We have 6 now. We're done. Oh, we got a little feedback there. We're done in 4A. We're done there. Bluffton's done. Myrtle Beach beat May River 40-14, and Irmo beat Colleton County 85-0. So, not a great defensive night for Region 7 4A. At least our part of it. Tough night, but so we're all done there. In 3A, Beaufort marches on as we predicted today, 30-13, 4 touchdowns for Jade Andrews. Monster night for him. So Beaufort moving on. They'll go to Crestwood next week, and that should be a tough test. Crestwood had them on the ropes last year and couldn't finish them off. But Beaufort bounced back, a really strong performance this week, so that's good to see. Andrew Jackson did hammer Ridgeland. We were wrong on our upset pick. I don't know. We were hoping, but 58-16. Hampton rolled though, 33-7 over Bishop William England. Shout out to my Hampton peeps for coming out tonight to Hurricanes. We had a great time. Met some new friends. Saw some of our friends that we've made out there. Got one time up on the stage with us, Gerald Freeman. He was a character. He's going to take us on a hog hunt. We met G Daddy George Orr. He was great. We met Chris Terry's aunt, who comes from a long line of terrific athletes. We saw Miss Ferry of the Ferry Twins mother fame. They just all came out. Miss Gerald, she was taking the pictures. It was awesome. We had a great time. Shout out to Hurricanes for hosting this. Definitely want to do more of that kind of thing. It was a good time. But anyway, Hampton rolls on. They will play Andrews at home next week. In 1A, Whale Branch is also Dunzo, 33-28. Wow. It was a battle.
I just saw that on the bottom there.
Yeah, on the ticker. Tough loss for the Whale Branch. So that ends what had been such a promising season. The bugaboo gets them again.
Yep.
But only 2 left on the high school league, Beaufort and Hampton. That's it. On the Skeeza side, though, we still got a healthy stable. Hilton Head Christian Academy, you saw them tonight, 42-7 over PD. No problems there. They'll go to Pinewood next week. Florence Christian 30-21 over JP2. JP2 gave him a fight.
Christian Tilton played.
He did.
Oh,
he did.
I saw that he was in the action.
They were holding them cards close. They stopped giving updates. They didn't want people to know. Beaufort Academy beat Orangeburg Prep 25-13. So I assume they'll go to Williamsburg next week. I haven't seen that score, but that's an assumption. But Colleton Prep went down 33-28 to Northside Christian. Didn't really see that coming. Didn't see it coming. Nice win for Northside. A little surprised by that. Hayward rolled 54-22 over Calhoun, and Patrick Henry won 28-21 over St. John's Christian. I saw the second half of that one, and Nathan Corley got a big butt, and it was quite an attraction. There was a crowd of people by a white pickup truck, and I was informed there was a deer. And then I saw Corley, and he was grinning ear to ear, and he told me he just got a deer before the game, and so that's an update from Patrick Henry. Big news from Patrick Henry. But no, they held on to win it. I grew up on a farm in Kansas, brother. We always had a freezer full of it.
I grew up on it too.
Yeah, good stuff.
Deer
jerky
in November. Oh yeah.
Ground venison.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. Real good.
Make burgers out of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then Richard Wynn Academy 77-32 over Holy Trinity. So we're
Dang.
done with the 8-man game. Yeah, lots of big numbers.
Yeah.
88 and 85 though. Like Bluffton's basketball team might not give up 88 this
Right.
year. If it all goes well,
That's right.
be good. But I see a friend in the green room, so let's get him in here because I don't know where. But let's see where Javon was at tonight. I believe you raised up the money.
Yeah. So we went up there. We were able to raise the money. Once again, shout out to this is Chris Hooper of audio and video and Billy Power of the car care. Helping us get the money so that way do that. They kind of ask for it. Usually they don't, but they ask for it, so I had to take care of that fee. But yeah, people wound up winning the game 30-13.
Yeah, we saw that 30-13.
Yeah.
We got a lot of background noise there, Coach.
If
you could get somewhere where maybe it's a little quieter. But
that's him right there. There should be some right there.
Does that mean?
It's loud over there. It's loud over there. Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. I'm gonna walk over here to the corner where there's less people. I'm over here. I'm in, the stop is Bucky's out once you come up this way.
Oh, you're at Bucky's. You're at Bucky's.
Yeah.
Hey, grab me. Hey, will you snag me one of them brisket sandwiches and bring it on home with you?
Snag you want to? Snag one for you?
Yeah, just give me a couple of those and maybe some beaver nuggets.
Yeah.
Anybody got any? Put your Bucky's orders in the comments. We'll make sure Javon gets you hooked up. Man. Jaden Andrews 4 touchdowns, big night. How about Buford?
Yeah, man. They basically got it going at first. It was a little shaky. Loris hopped out early, 13-0, and you didn't know what it was going to be from reading about them and watching the live stream against Ainer the week before. I was like, Buford might be in for a little bit of a tough match this weekend. Once again, man, Coach Lyman and the guys put it together, and the first half they kind of kept it contained, but just the second half, it's in the words of Marshawn Lynch, can you keep getting hit in your face over and over and over and over and over again, and that's basically what happened. Jada Andrews just started busting loose, started 3-yard runs with tackles for loss, and started going 5 yards, 10 yards, 20 yards, and into the end zone. There he goes.
Good stuff, man. So did it feel like they turned the corner a little bit tonight? Like they found another gear?
Well, I won't say that because it was a 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of thing. So once they started to get the lead and started to see the momentum turn, real quickly it was one drive, but they had 2 bad snaps, and Samari Bonds almost threw an interception in a couple of plays on that drive that kind of stalled out. But the running game is what it's been pretty much. But the biggest thing for Buford is penalties and ball security. That was the biggest thing that I saw. They still were giving up the penalties on both sides, mainly on defense, and then they had the little ball security issues in that one drive. But I still think they have a chance. I still take Buford versus anybody at this point. I didn't see the Philip Simmons game, but I think if they play Hanahan again, I think they could get Hanahan. But they got to go to Crestwood, and Crestwood has one of the best quarterbacks in the state. You saw that last year. So we have to see how they play against them. I think Crestwood is the problem on the offensive side. And, I think Buford's a little bit weaker on the defensive side. But if they get by Crestwood, I think it's anybody's ballgame.
Yeah, I do too. Crestwood's scary though. Like they were scary last year. They had Buford beat last year, and then Colton Ferris happened. And they were, man, I liked that team a lot last year. I like the way they played. I was looking for them to be good this year, and they are. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be, and they're going to be. They want some revenge after letting that one slip away. Yeah, last year at Buford. So that's a tough throw, but I don't know, man. They should have some confidence after tonight. So anything can happen. You going to be able to go on the road again next week?
Yeah, well, it's kind of, it's not like, regular season, and this is if any fans are watching, this is
right.
It's not like regular season. I can't message, the AD months in advance about the schedule. It's kind of a quick turnaround. You got to find out who wins. Principal has to sign the form, then I have to send it, get it back, send the check. It's a process to kind of turn around in a week. So and they don't work on the weekends. So they get 2 days off. So wait till Monday to do all that stuff. So.
Yeah, right on, man. Well, we'll definitely be on the lookout and try to get the word out if you're trying to raise up some money to make it happen again. Because we don't have many left. We got Buford and
Well,
Hampton on the public side, and then we got Hilton Head Christian, BA, Thomas Hayward, and Patrick Henry on the Skeeza side, and that's it. And then it's basketball season.
that's it. Oh, did Well Branch go down tonight?
Well, Branch did to Lakeview.
33-28.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's
33-28.
crazy. I thought
Bluffton
they
gave
were
up
having a heck of a year.
88. Bluffton gave up
88. That's what you
88.
guys were talking about when I was in the room there. 88?
88-48, and Colleton got beat 85-0 by Irmo. So that's a little that doesn't need to happen, I don't think.
Let's say, yeah, these are the playoffs, man. That's what the playoffs.
Well,
yeah,
we
those
got
are some crazy numbers, yeah.
We got too many teams in the playoffs, but that Richland Northeast
Yeah.
Bluffton game, we knew that was going to be high scoring, but I didn't see 88 coming. I mean, it
Yeah,
got
that's
kind of silly late. And Dave Carrick says, "My God, I've never seen that. That has to be some sort of record for points scored." It feels.
I hope so.
I mean, 136 is a lot.
Yeah. I would say on both sides of the ball, but I was going to say I hope so, and I, to find out whoever the team, who the Boston plays.
Richland Northeast. Well,
Richland
your
Northeast.
boy. Yeah, you know who their quarterback is, right? Will Wilson. Walt Wilson's
Yeah.
little boy.
Okay. Well,
he had over 400 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns, and the game wasn't over yet.
Damn.
Jesus, man. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I was going to say, you know what? I'm a little salty about the Bluffton. I was a part of that team that lost, even though I was injured. I was a part of that team that lost 82-0 a couple years ago to Bluffton when they were rolling. They had Crib and everybody there.
Yeah, Crib was doing some silly stuff on people that I think they're still paying for his sins a little bit. So, you know, and maybe, I don't know, man. People don't forget. People don't forget that kind of stuff. But I guarantee you, Kinlock wasn't shaking any hands after 85-0.
Yeah. 85-0. Yeah, you're not my friend anymore. I had sportsmanship out the window at that point.
No, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. But they dropped like flies tonight, man. Myrtle Beach beat May River, Irmo beat Colleton, Richland Northeast beat Bluffton, Andrew Jackson beat Richland Hardyville, Lakeview beat Well Branch. So we only got Hampton. Hampton has Andrews at home next week, Buford at Crestwood, and then on the Skeeza side we'll have Hilton Head Christian at Pinewood, BA at Williamsburg, Thomas Hayward at home against Lee, and Patrick Henry at Dorchester. So we'll have 2 home games next week. Went from 8 to 2.
Yeah, I was like,
the CHA game next week.
I know. I was thinking about that too. Although that Hayward or that Hampton Andrews game is going to be really good too.
Hampton's at home too.
Hampton's at home. Yeah, they'll be at home until the lower state final. They would see either Oceanside or Marion. Yeah, unless one of the lower seeds knocks off, gets out. If it's a 1 seed, they'd be on the road then. But Oceanside lost their quarterback to an ACL.
Oh man.
Yeah, the big quarterback. He's like a Tebow type. Yeah, it's a big injury. So that kind of clears the path more for Hampton to make a run. Although I think Marion, I already thought Marion might knock off Oceanside and be the team that Hampton has to travel to. And that ain't a fun place to play, man. That's a tough place. It's kind of like Hampton, small town. Everybody's there on Friday night. Real compact.
And loaded up.
Yeah.
Cozy.
That's how I felt tonight at Loris, man. There was a little bit of talking when I got up there when I was trying to set up because I thought at first I was going to have to go from the bleachers. But so, there's some fans kind of, picking at me a little bit. So, hey, man, I just like good football. You know what I'm saying? Whoever wins. I just like good football games. That's all I care about,
That's right.
Absolutely.
We even had some Bishop England fans in Hurricanes tonight for our little show. That was kind of cool. We had fun over there.
How'd the pregame go? You guys did the
it was
pregame
fun.
show, right?
We did a little pregame show at Hurricane Sports Cafe. We got one time up there to talk about Hampton. We got Gerald Freeman up there to talk about Patrick Henry. He told us some old time Patrick Henry stories about the brawl at Clarendon Hall. And then we got a Hampton legend, George Orr, a.k.a. G-Daddy, got up there, and he talked to us for a little bit. We had a good old time. People came out. And it was good times. Had good food.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, we're going to do that
Congratulations on that.
again for sure. We're going to do that
You
again for
got to.
sure. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun. We just need
Get a
willing
halftime report.
participants. Let us come out
Halftime
and
report
play.
going, man.
Yeah, well, I can do that kind of thing on the IG. But
say we all
halftime's when I got to
StreamYard
catch
in.
my breath. There we
Oh
go.
yeah,
Oh,
I say
that's true.
we all
Problem is,
StreamYard in from wherever we're at.
halftime happens different times everywhere. That's the problem.
Well, it's the playoffs. The only person filming is me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, it's up there.
That's
You
true.
watch it all, you know.
Everybody at a different place, different time
Yeah.
though. There's Matt
That is
Gohagen,
true.
and my man Matt Gohagen says, "Glad you made it to Cone Field." Yeah, it was a cool environment. Very old school. You got the stone bleachers, pretty chill. Got all the trucks backed up there. This might have been, they're not running a real tight ship around there about what you're doing around the sides. So they're just having a good time out of Patrick Henry. It's a
So
pretty
I'm gonna
laid
go,
back
man.
atmosphere. You're
I'm gonna
out.
go,
You
man.
got to
Grab me
get your
some of these
buckies.
brisket sandwiches, man.
We appreciate
All right, man.
you for the update and for everything you do, man. Have a safe trip back.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thanks,
All
Javon.
right, talk soon. Javon Livingston, Buford's own. So you can go back. I'm going to have to go back and watch that Buford game, see how they were able to get that done. That's an impressive win because Loris is a quality squad. I wasn't sure they were going to get the job done. I picked it, but it didn't mean I knew it was going to happen.
Right.
But down 13-0 and put 30 unanswered on them, that's pretty impressive, and that indicative that they may be ready for the challenge at Crestwood next week. We shall see. We need some more friends in here. Where's my friends? Where's all my friends? You got the links. We're gonna have to send it to Dave Carrick. Since Wes is incapacitated after that game.
I'll tell you what.
Dave.
HHCA looked really, really good tonight. They ended up scoring very quickly. It was 9:49 to go in the first quarter of play, and Dylan Clark doing Dylan Clark things. Found Tyshawn Mansell 42 yards for a touchdown. Extra point was drilled through by Kelly. He's a heck of a kicker. Some great plays on defense early also from Dylan Clark and Mansell. I mean, those two guys were the tandem for much of the early part of the first half. First drive, PD got down the field, but ended up being stopped on 4th down and goal. And that was their best shot until late in the ball game in the fourth quarter. They ended up scoring a touchdown to avoid the shutout. Conrad, a couple of big plays on defense. Just great, solid play from him. Reese had a couple of big plays on defense. Like I mentioned, Dylan Clark as well with some huge tackles. A 4th down and goal for PD, and Harper Mitchell had a sack in the first half of the game. Crosby got some big runs in there late. Conrad Jackson, Reed McCullum with big tackles and big stops. It was just really a dominant performance. 14-0 after one for HHCA. Evan Elliott with a big play on defense, and then AJ hopped with a big catch off a great Dylan Clark pass to make it 21-0 early in the second quarter. PD again had a little bit of momentum, but they were just stopped. The Christian defense was absolutely tenacious. I mentioned Keen Reese, huge sack on 4th down and 17 in the first half. Eagles went back to work, and Crosby, Mansell, they had a couple of plays on a drive. Clark with another big touchdown pass to make it 28-0 at the end of the half. I just knew at that point that game was going to be at a point eventually where we were going to have the running clock. And another connection between Clark and Mansell to make it 35-0 with 8:46 to go in the third quarter. And then the guy that I was waiting for all night, finally with a touchdown catch of his own, with 5:55 to go left in the third quarter, Gage Zadalokin.
Oh, yeah, you just want to say that name. You just want to say that name.
Absolutely. And like I said, it was 42-0, 5:55 left in the third, and the rest of the clock was a running clock. PD did score with about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter to make it 42-7, and that was the final score. Just a dominant performance by HHCA, and especially with all the teams that you mentioned in the outset, Justin, that are gone, I think HHCA has a really good chance to make a very deep run. They will have a tough test next week, but I think they have a very good chance.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find the Pinewood score. I haven't seen it yet, but I mean that's going to be that really feels like it should be the state championship game. I think those were the best two teams in the league all year. So, it is what it is. You wish that game was being played on a neutral field in 2 weeks instead of next week. But you're gonna have to beat them, and now you got to go beat them on the road. Still trying to get to their score. The StreamYard ads drive me crazy. No, that's not. Oh yeah, 49-7, Pinewood Prep over First Baptist.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean that's not unexpected. First Baptist was pretty down this year, but we expected to see Pinewood and HHCA next week, and it should be a great game. A little too far for me when I got home games, because here's the thing: you drive all the way to Pinewood, and they lose. Man, you just wasted your whole night covering a losing game. Whereas if they win, you didn't cover them, but you're going to cover them next week in the state championship. So It just doesn't make sense. But I'd love to see that game. Man, I'd love to see that game. I got a guy up in Charleston. I have to get him involved. So that's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that one. But we'll have Hampton against Andrews and Thomas Hayward against Lee. I'll tell you a little bit about the games I was at, I suppose. At Hampton, it was all Hampton. It was all Hampton from the outset. 3 and out. Bishop England won the toss, took the ball, went 3 and out. Hampton went down the field. Bishop England got him into a 4th and short in the red zone, and Terry threw a little pop pass over the top for Jazz Goins, touchdown. 3 and out. And then we flipped the field. The first quarter went by fast. We flipped the field, and Terry hit Zion Dobson for a touchdown pass. That was 2. And then we went 3 and out again. And then Zion raced into the end zone on a rushing touchdown. So you're seeing a trend forming, and it was 19-0. And then we left to go somewhere else. And I know that we had a Jalen Singletary touchdown. He's having a great season.
Yeah.
And then we had a Zamone Lofties going 95 yards on a punt return to make it 33-0, and then they gave up a touchdown late. So no pizza party for Hampton this week. They gave up a touchdown. But they do get to play another playoff game next week, so they get another shot at a pizza party.
Good. That's right.
But Andrews is tough. But Woodland from their region knocked off Chirac in overtime, so that was a good win. And I didn't see Barnwell score yet, but I'm gonna guess Barnwell won. And then at Patrick Henry, I got there at halftime. It was already 19-7. Michael Tucker Mathis made 3 field goals tonight. So at halftime, Michael Tucker had made 2 field goals, and the Ferry twins had hooked up for a 70-yard touchdown pass, and Michael Tucker had also caught a touchdown pass. And then somebody scored a touchdown right as the second half started when I was at the other end of the field doing a Instagram reel, a live report. So I'm not sure who scored that. And that was and then they kicked another field goal. So that was all the scoring for Patrick Henry. Salted away on defense. Pretty good effort from them. They could be a little sharper. They'll have to be a little sharper next week, I think, but still fighting on, survive and advance. and they're a tough team. I don't think they're going to go down easy next week against Dorchester. But one of the neat things about SCISA playoffs is you get so many regular season rematches because there's just that many teams, so you get a lot of those. And so those are always interesting to me because that becomes a chess match of the coaches trying to adjust to what worked or didn't work or worked against them the first time. And so that becomes a very interesting, battle to me, battle of wits.
Right.
You like that? You like the rematch?
Yeah. I think it's fun, to take a look, especially when you think of some of the matchups that we've seen, like last year between Carlton Prep and BA, them going at it with a couple of absolute classics. And we have a chance to see more of those too. And I was thinking as well, talking about rematches, I can't remember what year it was, but THA played Lee in the championship of
like 3 years in a row.
1A. That's
the last
that's
3.
Right. Yeah.
The last 3, I believe. I think that's right.
That's right. So they'll be matching up again next week. I should definitely try to get to that game then.
That's going to be a battle.
About that for sure.
I talked to my guy Jay at the barbershop about maybe doing a little live, meet and greet thing like we did tonight over there in Ridgeland next week. So we'll have to put that out there and see if the Thomas Hayward people respond the way that the Hampton people did. If they do, somebody wants to get me some fiddlers from across the street and bring it over to Jay's. Jay says, let's do it. I say, let's do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it.
Come over.
Yeah. If you're gonna go to the game anyway, come on over to Jay's Barbershop downtown Ridgeland first. Get you. I recommend the dirty rice with the deviled crab cake from Fiddlers, but you do you. I also had a shrimp po' boy from there that was delicious.
Ooh, that's
right across the street. Yeah, it's good. It's good. There's also a taco place right there next door that's told us quite good. It's a happening place downtown Ridgeland on a Friday night. So let's plan on doing that. We're going to meet up at Jay's Barbershop Friday night. And and Eats and Sweets. Yeah, Eats and Sweets is bang. It's a good thing happening down there. So let's do it, Marcus. Let's meet up at Thomas Hayward next week. And
sure.
We'll try to see if Wes can come too, and we'll have a little party. It's an easy little jaunt from Thomas Hayward over to Hampton for one of us. So makes sense to me. Let's do it.
Sounds like
and excuse me. Speaking of let's do it, let's honor our MVP sponsors, starting with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports. Just started her real estate career, but she's already making a transition. She's going off on her own with some colleagues to start her own group within, or their own group within Keller Williams. So she would love to help you find your starter home or your forever home or your investment property or whatever you need here in the Lowco so that you can be here with us where it's good. I know that she's going to work hard for you to find the perfect home and make sure that she can get you a place here in the Lowco. That's Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports, and the one who makes it all possible. Because without her, I would have to get a real job. And Homegrown Home Inspections is going to check out that house and make sure it's good to go. I've been on a ride along with Jan. You know Jan a little bit.
I do.
And
he's
awesome. He is absolutely one of a kind, and he really advocates for his clients, and he's just a conscientious guy. And if he finds something, he's going to make sure it gets squared away, and that you have peace of mind when we go to Mickelson Law Firm to sign the papers with the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports. And everybody knows the Mickelsons; they're everywhere. They're ubiquitous. Love the Mickelsons. Ryan and Tiffany were our first sponsors, who took the leap back in 2017, and they're still supporting us 6 years later, and we really appreciate that and appreciate everything they do in the community. So thanks to the Mickelson Law Firm, official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports, and Hospice Care of the Low Country. We love the Hospice Care of the Low Country, doing so much in the community, helping people out with hospice care, palliative care, and free grief counseling, many other services that they offer. And they just go above and beyond for all of their clients to make sure that they have a pleasant experience for how much time they have left with this, because at Hospice Care, the Low Country, it's not about dying, it's about living. And those are our MVP sponsors, Marcus Walsh. We would love to have some new ones for basketball season, so hit us up. Got some packages for hoops. So get in here. Hoops report coming next week. We got to get it rolling because USCB's only a week away. Next Saturday, I'll be calling USCB. And I might need to get you a fill in one time. You around for Thanksgiving?
I am around for Thanksgiving. Depends what day.
That weekend, that's Saturday. We'll have to talk. We'll have to talk. I might need to fill in. I might need to fill in.
I will see.
We'll talk it out later.
I can do. Yeah, I just know I've got a busy weekend that weekend. So
right on, man.
All depends.
Yeah, bravo, Charlie. We appreciate you, bravo, Charlie. Bravo Charlie's a big fan. He's always giving us love. He said earlier, I forgot to post it earlier when he said, thank you, locosports.com, for covering our local sports like he always does. Thank you, bravo, Charlie. And those are the games I was at, and that was the game you were at, and our friends aren't coming on to talk because everybody lost and they're sad. We didn't even get Stricklander. I don't know where Stricklander is. They must still be partying with the Right Field Mafia over there. Might be over at the barbecue place. If they had a home game, we go Lester's Barbecue, but they don't. What do you want to talk about? It's kind of sad. We had so many losses.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, the one score that just came off my eye, and I went, whoa, because I was talking this team up big time today, obviously, and throughout the week, and there it is again. Whoa, was the Lakeview Whale Branch game, and I think about when you had them just a couple of weeks ago and whatnot, and there were a couple other scenarios where they didn't quite play their best ball. I think about when I had them against Battery Creek, and they got off to that really sluggish start. Yeah. They were down 12-0, and then bam, they just put the hammer on BC, and they ended up winning 45-12. But it sounds like definitely a tough night there for the Warriors. But the other team, obviously, that we talked about on Talk of the Town, Daniel, Court, and I saw Daniel and Debbie tonight, by the way, was HHCA. And just knowing what they can do. And then again, they proved it tonight that they can play really daggone good football on all three phases of it. And they ended up having a big win. So, I mean, HHCA, they've got the really good pedigree over the years. Thomas Hayward has the really good pedigree over the last several years as well. You look at Beaufort. Those are teams that really have my eye now, because things are dwindling down. You said we went from 14-6?
Yeah, that's what we did. We went from 14-6. Ooh. Yeah, we shot worse than 50%. It was a rough night. Rough night at the Stripe. But yeah, I mean, you had 8 at home, so it's only 2 upsets, so to speak,
right.
Which would be Colleton Prep losing at home and Whale Branch. All the rest you would, and I guess Bluffton also lost at home. So somebody won on the road, right? Who won on the road? Yeah, Beaufort won on the road. So yeah, but that didn't feel like a huge upset either. And Richland Northeast doesn't, like I said that on the show today, like there's no shame in losing this game. Like this is a evenly matched game. It's not like a game you're expected to win, even though they were at home. It was just luck of the draw that they were at home. So that's not terribly surprising. I thought Bluffton would keep it closer than that at least, but
I did too.
I think it just got out of hand at the end. I mean, when you give up that many, it becomes a physical and mental, like psychological strain.
It's draining everywhere. It's entirely draining.
Yeah, absolutely. And they kept pace for a good while. It was competitive for a good while.
Competitive and pretty dang high scoring at the half. From what I saw West say on the old X machine, I guess we can call it now, the X-ray machine.
I call it Twixter.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think of my one of my colleagues and great friends Matt Brubaker, who I went to college with, and he would always call it the Twitter machine. He's got a podcast out, and he would always say the Twitter machine before it changed to X. I guess he still does refer to it as the Twitter machine, but yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it was 34-27 at halftime.
That's what it was.
And
yeah,
they had 709 combined yards of total offense.
Oh man! Wow.
That was insane. Then it went to 40-27, and then Bays threw a pick, and that you had to keep pace, right? Like as soon as you threw a pick, it was over because they couldn't stop them. So then it was 48-27, and then quick strike again, 55-27, and it just snowballed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can sometimes it bees like that. That reminds me of when Myrtle Beach came in here for the lower state championship when at Bluffton, when Everett Golson was their quarterback. He ended up in Notre Dame.
Yep.
And they put on a show against Cribbs boys. That was impressive. We got to see some real football that night. Sounds like Richland Northeast, Will Wilson. Man, I would have liked to have seen what he could have done to Battery Creek. But obviously Pops made a good call getting him up to Columbia. And he's gonna have quite a career somewhere. I don't know where he's going, but I know he's got a lot of offers. I would have loved to have seen him play here, but I definitely get it and wish him well. So 4A's over. Congratulations to the basketball coaches at Bluffton, May River, and Colleton County. You get your guys and your wrestling coaches. You get your guys on Monday. So I know you don't. It's always bittersweet, but I know those winter sports coaches are excited to get everybody in there and start seeing what they've got. So that's the silver lining. And I know at Ridgeland Hardyville, they're definitely excited for hoops always. So great season from those guys though. Coming out with 5 wins this year was just outstanding. And tough loss tonight, but really good showing. And now we split the schools and we see what happens there. I suspect Ridgeland will end up dropping to 1A. And Hardyville will be 1A, obviously. And I think Hardyville's going to have some real talent over there from the way it sounds. Their JV program was outstanding this year. So that could be fun. But Hampton has more enforcements coming, too, because they just won the youth football championship.
There you go.
Saw the other day. So, they're bringing it home. And then Beaufort Wildcats won some kind of championship, too. So, we got some youth teams around here that are bringing it up. Robert Smalls won the middle school championship.
Nice.
Which was that's great news for Battery Creek.
I saw that.
It's great news for Battery Creek because that's their feeder. So that's good news for them. They got some dudes coming. Good stuff. That's the gist of it. There's not a whole lot to talk about at this point. Beaufort at Crestwood next week. Hampton at Andrews, Beaufort Academy at Williamsburg, and then Thomas Hayward, Lee, Patrick Henry at Dorchester. So that's
some good matchups there.
We have some really good matchups. In fact, I guess we could dig into those a little bit because Beaufort at Crestwood is a rematch of last year's playoffs. Hampton and Andrews, I don't know how much history they have. I'll have to look that up. I do know that Coach Hanna told me before the game that Andrews is very tough. He liked that they drew Bishop England first because they run option and Andrews runs a very similar option offense. So they were excited about that and being able to prep for it, and they handled it well tonight. So that's a good sign. But that's going to be a good fight. I still like Hampton. I like Hampton all the way to state, but I've liked them that way since last year. I don't know. There's something about that team. They're special, man. They've got a special bond. They got a special coach, and the community has really rallied around them in a special way. And it just feels like a script when you're out there. It just feels like, you know what I mean? Like it just feels right out there right now. And I think they're going to keep it rolling. It's a really good vibe. And if the Patrick Henry gets knocked out, all those people will go over there and cheer him on too. That's the beauty of it. Really, it's a cool
It's
thing
awesome.
that's happening out there, and it was really neat to bring those folks together tonight and just fellowship, as they say, and talk about football and life. Met some cool new people and got to see some great friends that we've gotten to know over the last couple of years. So really appreciate those people. HHCA and Pinewood, I don't think they played in the playoffs last year, but I think they played in the regular season last year. Certainly there's some history there. It's a new era with Devontae Holloman up there. So I don't know how much any past history is relevant there. BA and Williamsburg have great history. They played last year
Yes.
regular season, and then they played again this regular season. So that one's a good battle. I like that one. And Lee and Hayward, of course, massive history there.
Said a lot.
Same with Worcester and PHA, not the same high stakes, but that's a good rivalry. So it's gonna be a fun week. It's just I don't know. It's sad when we lose teams, but also like some of them, like it was just time. It was their time. They got the one game in the playoffs, and it was their time. And we got to move on, and and pare it down so we can focus on the ones that have a shot to go a long way. So that's we're getting
Right.
there a little quicker than we maybe wanted to, but that's where we are now.
It
So
happens.
what you researching over there?
I'm actually going to check for you to see about that matchup between Pinewood and HHCA.
Yeah, I think they played in the regular season last year, if I'm not mistaken. But
Allow me.
could be wrong about that because they didn't play in the regular season this year, so that wouldn't make sense because it's a 2-year schedule. So that doesn't check out. Pinewood played so many other teams in our area, but not Hilton Lake Christian, which is weird. But that Pinewood team's good too. My guy Brett Gardner's up there. He's on the staff. I think he's on the varsity staff. I know that his kid plays. He's involved. He's got his finger in a lot of stuff. He's a good dude. All right. Well, let's talk about more sponsors then. We'll shout out the varsity sponsors. We got DDS Web Design. We're all online all the time talking about the sports and whatnot. And sometimes we got to go buy something. So we go on the internet and we're like, hey, I want to go get something to eat. And we go Hurricane Sports Cafe. And if you don't have a website that pops up when somebody searches, you're not going to get that business. So you need to get to DDS Web Design and make sure you have a attractive website that's easy to use and has SEO tactics built in so you can get found online. Dave and Denise love to work with small businesses and nonprofits to help them do more and think bigger. So check them out at ddshhi.com and tell them Lowco sent you. And then our new friends at Parker Law Group, who have been serving folks with their legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties for years and have jumped on board with us to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Low Country. So thanks to our varsity sponsors. And I miss Wes. I know he's got to go to sleep because he's got to ride the Spirit bus for Bridges Prep volleyball tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
And he had that late night shootout that went till almost showtime. Bluffton, so got a little hairy over there. So tell me a little bit more about the HHCA game and what maybe you've seen in that team as far as development since you saw them earlier in the year.
Oh, I mean, I saw them against BA, and they looked really good on that particular week. And that wasn't all that long ago when you think about it. That was just a few weeks ago. So
feels like an eternity, though.
they really didn't look that much different to my eye. They're just a really good football team. They've won 9 games in a row now. They just go about it, and we had a chance since Daniel Court was there. We actually went on the field before the game. We had a chance to talk to Ron Peduzzi for a couple of minutes. Saw Coach John Haupt and saw Matt Smith and a couple of the other guys just around the football team. And the one thing that I'll say is, while they're not a perfect team, and no team is, obviously, they
Right.
are very, very intense, and they go about things the right way, and they just do their job, and do their assignment, and it's the next man up when it needs to be the next man up. And I mean, they remind me of a lot of these other teams that I've seen in the hyper local Lowco, if you will, through our schedule of Beaufort, Bluffton, and Hilton Head areas for WHHI. Um, they just really impressed the heck out of me, man. They're going to be a really, really fun team to watch the rest of the way, and hopefully they've got a couple more weeks left in them. That Pinewood game next week's going to be good, and for some reason I'm not able to look at the schedules from last year on my laptop. But
I'll look it up.
that should be a great game next week, we hope, and like we were talking about some of the others, especially that THA League game, which I definitely plan to see, and I'll get together with you beforehand for that. That's really, really fun matchup.
Yeah, that is always a Donnybrook, a slobber knocker. That's what our guy Jarrett said today, a slobber knocker. No, they haven't played since 2 years ago when Hilton Head Christian beat them 48-14, but Pinewood was not very good then. They're a totally different team now. Excuse me. But yeah, I was trying to get somebody on here. We're efforting people, but they're not coming on. Everybody's tired, man. It's been a long week. But nonetheless, it was a little bit of a downer with that many teams losing. But Beaufort winning on the road, that's big. Jaden Andrews, 4 touchdown runs. Really, really strong effort on defense, shutting them out in the second half. After getting, they've got to address the slow starts though. Even last year, remember, throughout the playoffs, they kept getting off to slow starts and having to come back. And again tonight, down 13-0. I feel like if they could somehow nip that in the bud, whatever that hurdle is, they can't get over. Man, it could really change the metric for them.
Well, I mean, it's not even just a playoff thing, too, obviously.
No,
we've seen it throughout the regular
Hilton
season.
Head game, yeah.
I was just going to say, because we both were there. You were calling that game for SAV, and I obviously was doing the play-by-play for WHHI. And they got down 17-3. And then all of a sudden, the huge comeback in the second half. But, yeah, if they can answer that question, they can play with anybody and dang near beat anybody, because we've seen it.
Why isn't the Libs on here with us?
With their great coaching staff and whatnot. He was doing work, and he's doing work and then school stuff, because he's going back to school.
I know, he's Rodney Dangerfield, and he's going to learn the triple Lindy.
Yeah,
teach the triple Lindy to all the youth.
We love you,
school. Kev. Is it going to be Libs is doing HW? He's doing homework. Yeah, apparently not paying much attention to it. He's multitasking. He's ADHD though. We can pull that off. We have to have input so that we don't think about all the other things that we're thinking about. It's weird. It's a weird thing. But yeah, we miss you, Libs. We miss you, Mr. Libs. But yeah, he shouts out Fly Eagles, which I think they got a shot. He knows what a widget is and how to bribe a contractor. So what you're learning about? So what you're learning about? I mean, I know. Yeah, I more or less know. There's different definitions for widgets, but bribing a contractor is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It's only one way to go about that, as far as I know.
You can bribe me with food, and I'll go just about anywhere.
Oh, that was a reference to back to school. Okay. Gosh, it's been a minute. I remembered the triple Lindy, but I forgot about that deep cut. He hit me with a deep cut. I did rewatch The Jerk recently, so I might catch any deep cuts from that. And it still holds up pretty well. I mean, there's some questionable stuff in there, but man, it's still funny. He hates these cans. So good. Anyway, getting back on task. I was trying to Steve Martin all day. Love Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Jerk. I love the jerk. I watched a lot of questionable comedy as a child. That probably explains me. I was watching George Carlin when I was like 10.
Oh man, my
that pretty
dad.
well shaped my worldview right there.
My dad, actually, my first memory of George Carlin was him as Mr. Conductor, Shining Time Station, Thomas the Tank Engine.
That was way after I had watched many of his HBO specials.
Right. But my dad taught me when I was very young, and I've learned that he actually had his own character with this character, but he taught me the hippy dippy weatherman skit.
Yes.
And then I got off to college and I actually saw the whole thing and saw everything else that man did in his career.
Brilliant.
And what a brilliant genius. Oh, Miss George.
A philosopher.
So good.
Truly. He's my philosopher. I go to the Church of Carlin. There's been some great ones, but he was the best one for me. Jaden Andrews, big night, 4 TDs. Hampton, Chris Terry had 2 touchdown passes, continues to play exceptionally well. I was efforting him, but he's probably, hanging out with the homies, celebrating the win. Actually, he may be in bed. He's probably tired. Zion Dobson had a touchdown catch and a touchdown run. Also got to see Zion and Kayvon get their Shrine Bowl awards. Or not Shrine Bowl, but North-South awards. So that was cool. Jalen Singletary, another touchdown run. Zamon Lofty's kick return touchdown. I don't have details on the Hayward game. I know they put up 54, so I'm going to bet old Tony had a couple. I'm guessing he got in the end zone a couple times.
Maybe Cutter Williams, who I was talking about on game day, got involved too.
Probably had a little something to do with it, I'd imagine. But they took care of business as expected. 6 touchdowns for Tony, says Jay, Big J.
Woo, dog.
Woo. 6. Clutch. Mercy. So get this. You want to talk about the small world, the connective tissue of the Lowco universe. You want to know who gets his hair cut at Jay's barbershop? One time.
Oh, there you go. I was going to say Tony O'Banner.
It all comes together. Well, Tony O'Banner definitely does. I know Tony O'Banner does for a fact. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody gets a haircut at Jay's Barbershop. That's the place to be. We're going to get him back in the sponsor rotation here real shortly. But we're going to come see him on Friday night and have a party. Yeah, see? So does Tony. I told you. One time. Libby, you enjoyed that live show tonight, didn't you, from Hampton? It was kind of janky. We just had to Facebook Live it off my phone because I forgot some technology. But it was all good. It was fun. The crowd was great. It was good times, good energy. And good food. Hurricane Sports Cafe right there on the main drag. I mean, I can't say it's like better than Rigdon's, but it was dang good. Dang good. He brought us out. I had some bird dogs, which is a concept I love. The hot dog bun with the chicken tenders in it with bacon and cheese on top and some sauce. It was delicious. Livy says the show is dope, and Alfonso says one time was at the shop yesterday talking about his dogs. That's all he's talking about tonight was his dogs. He had his dog on his leash. His dog's name is Easy, and it's a Hampton hat. And he's like, "Look at my dog! Look at my dog!" Tonight, Jay, he had an umbrella on his head, like a hat that was an umbrella. And I was trying to figure out what the heck he was doing with that. And then Chris Myers comes by and he cracked the code. He says, "Why do you think one time's wearing an umbrella on his head? Because the storm's coming?" And I was like, yeah. When he was on stage with us at Hurricanes, he kept saying, "A storm's coming tonight. I don't know when it's going to come, but it's coming. It's coming. There's going to be a thunderstorm. And then we got Zion Dobson and he's lightning." Oh, he walked in my shop dog walking with the hat on the leash. Did he have the hat on the leash? Oh, my God. He's a mess. He's a whole mess. I love him. He told me he loved me about 6 days. He also brought me and Wes both a peanut bar to Hurricanes. So So I got my peanut brittle bar for when
There
we
you
need
go.
snacks. So man, he's the best. Oh, he was walking on all fours like a dog. I need video the next time. I need video the next time. I got to get into my video too. I got some great video tonight. I definitely got some one-time video on there. Good hurricane walk video. Got some little bit at the Patrick Henry, so that was fun. But good to see everybody. It's so weird to me and humbling that y'all act like that I'm a celebrity or I'm someone special, because I don't feel like that at all. But it's pretty cool. Like when y'all act like that. So I don't know, man. I'm tired, but it was wild. I mean, people are like, "He's here, he's here." I'm like, what? It never used to. It never used to be like that. It used to be as soon as you got there, they started yelling at you about, "Oh, you gonna get one time there? We'll get one time there for sure." Libby, you was special. You was important. Shut up, bro. Shut up. Shut up. But it's but no, it means a lot. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the appreciation. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's so weird to me because I'm serious. There used to be a time where people took for granted sports coverage around here, and you would show up and get a earful about how long it had been since you'd been there and where's the photographer and all that stuff. And there was a sense of entitlement. And I hate that the sports coverage here had to fall off to the point it did to create this opportunity. But I'm grateful that I seized it, and I'm grateful that people now seem to appreciate it a little bit more than they did in the past, and now that they've seen it go away and what it can be again. We're doing our best every dang day. I promise you that. But I got to go chase more money. So, someone's got to give at some point. So let's get some more sponsors in here, and let's shout out some sponsors. The Lowco Booster Club. We got Prime IV Hydration and Wellness now open in Belfairtown Village. Go see Max and get juiced up. It's the place to be. I still haven't made it over there, but it's on my list. I need it bad. I'm dehydrated. I know it. I need to go get juiced up. They got a special on the NAD plus stuff that like it makes you have superpowers and like be really smart or whatever. No, it like supercharges all your cells, and so like everything's just running like. So I think I might have to see if we can trade that for more sponsorship or something, because I ain't got no money. Rooted Living Wellness, my guy Ambrose, Dr. Ambrose Cole is a great chiropractor. Go see him, and he'll get you feeling right, give you great insight on what's going on with your body and how to get it feeling better. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country, got Chris Odom, the man. He is the Forrest Gump of cleaning floors. He'll do your wood floors, your tile floors, your vinyl floors, your carpets. You can do a lot of different. He'll do commercial floors, your stone floors, your sealed floors. And he'll tell you about 6 different ways you can clean all of them too. And I promise he'll get them clean. Everybody I talk to,
waxing.
Oh man, he'll do it all. So call Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country and get those floors so clean your feet will thank you. And I've asked him if he's okay about me teasing him like that. He's good with it. He's got a great sense of humor. Great guy, just a super guy. Eagle Creations, one of the best kept secrets around. Bill and Mandy over there can get you hooked up in a pinch if you need some. Yeah, they're great. They just helped out a friend. They need some custom koozies in a pinch, and they said they can do that. They can do that, like 1 week turnaround. I'm like, man, that's pretty good. Sublimated, no less. It's pretty impressive. And they've always got new contraptions over there that they can do new things with. They're doing all kinds of new things. They make some cool custom ornaments too, Christmas ornaments. So that's a cool thing that you can give for a gift. And they have Proudly Southern gift baskets. So check them out. Eagle Creations over off Argent Boulevard. And then your friends, you mentioned them earlier, Court Lifestyle Pros, Debbie and Daniel Court, Low Country Natives, selling the Lowco Lifestyle on HHI. That's the Lowco Booster Club. We're going to be adding Jay's Booster Club or Jay's Barbershop real soon. And, we got to get them back in there. And we hit an hour, so we managed to ramble about these 14, more depressing than not games for an hour. So that was good times, despite friends not wanting to come around, and they're either celebrating or crying. One or the other.
Doing homework.
Come around. Or doing the homework, yeah. But you know what? When you shout out, when you jump in the comments too, that's just as fun. I like talking to the comments.
Sure.
I like talking to the comments. It's fun talking to the comments.
Yeah, of course.
Hi, Willie White. Appreciate you, dog. Ask your boss if you can come talk basketball with me. All right, let's call it a night, Marcus. Appreciate you coming along for the ride. Pinch hitting for Wes, so he could get home, ride his gamer, and call it a night, and go tell us about Bridges Prep volleyball tomorrow. I'm going to go coach the sleigh tomorrow in softball. What you got on tap?
Tomorrow, I have a couple of rehearsals for some upcoming choral stuff. I'm singing for a church service at St. Luke's Anglican on the south end of the island on Sunday morning, and then rehearsing for the Mary Green Chorale concert on November the 13th at Holy Family Catholic Church.
And you keep them pipes busy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then, so that's what's on tap. Be watching some college football for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And whatnot. And then Sunday, like I said, singing at St. Luke's, and then have choral society and getting together with a bunch of family. So going to be another busy weekend.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. College football. I got one I'm a little bit interested in this weekend. Mizzou at Georgia.
That's going to be a huge game.
Yeah, we'll probably get whooped, but you get to take a shot.
Is that 3:30 CBS?
Yeah, it is. It's the good slot.
Yeah,
we get the A team.
And then
and I get my Dolphins. The Dolphins Chiefs. My Chiefs play the Dolphins in Germany 9:30 Sunday. So
actually, you got the B team for at least the B team for CBS. I think it's the B team because the A team of Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, and Jenny Dell are going to be at LSU, Alabama at 7.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, bingo.
So
that makes sense.
I think you've got Tom McCarthy and those guys calling your.
Well, we got the A slot. It's the best slot.
The typical A slot. But hard to beat prime time,
but no,
in the SEC West. Woo.
Yeah, primetime night games in the SEC West are ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
No doubt.
All right, man. Well, great show. Enjoyed
Absolutely.
it. Would have enjoyed more friends, but we'll try to do better next week. And it was a little chaotic. We had a lot going on today. We had a triple show day, so that was good times. But thanks to everyone who came along for the ride. Thanks to Javon for jumping on from Buc-ee's. I hope he gets back with my brisket sandwich pretty soon. I'm getting hungry again. That bird dog's wearing
JJ's hungry.
I forgot telling you about all the food at Hurricanes. So I got the bird dogs. They were good. My man Austin brought us out a basket with a sampler, basically. The fries were really good too. And my man Austin brought us out a basket with fried pickles. Really good.
I love me some
cheese curds, fried cheese curds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can
Onion rings. Onion rings were good too.
I'll save those for you.
Yeah, they were good though. And we did go MIZZUOU. And we had a variety of dipping sauces. We had a steakhouse ranch that was good with the fried pickles, particularly. We had a traditional horseradish type onion ring dipping sauce, which was excellent with the onion rings, but also with the pickles or the curds. Frankly, we had some marinara, and we had, I don't know what that other thing was, but it was like a honey, like a spicy syrup almost type stuff. I was dipping the curds in that, and it was
like
pretty
hot, like hot honey.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
I can dig it.
It was good. It was good.
Mike's hot honey, too legit. So good.
Yeah, too legit, too quick. Hey. Yeah, I had my hammer pants back in the day. All right, let's call it a night, man. Thanks to everybody who swung by in the comments or otherwise. I know some of y'all, you just don't have to. You just can't get on camera. You just can't bring yourself to do it, but we'll get you in here one of these days. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and thanks to everybody who came along for the ride. You're the reason we do it. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time. And until then, go Lowco.